Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, ooga, ooga, ooga. Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. It's a way of life. Mucha lucha, it's a way of life. I'm sorry, I was kind of thinking, I'm sorry guys, have you guys ever seen, Mega Hot Lucha? Yeah, it kind of reminded me of, Mucha Lucha, a little bit. I apologize for that. I apologize for that, I apologize for that. I do like the skill system, in Mucha Lucha, though. Well, hold on, I need to turn down the game volume, because it is way too high. Alright now. Alright now, whoa, alright. Alright, we are back with Cerulean. Alright now, our little Laundromancer. Oh no, look at that. Alright now. Alright, we might as well fight our first enemy. Alright, we got a couple enemies here. Alright now. Oh yeah, they updated the game a little bit, so whenever you hit an enemy with like a perfect strike or do a perfect guard, hey, it actually gives you a little bit of metal back. I actually like that update. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Also, when you block also if you do a perfect block, regardless if it hits or not, you get metal back too. All right, that I like. That update I like. All right, I admit I like that update. I like that update a lot. It makes the combat a little bit easier. Hey, Red Heavy. Nice to see you put Mariah Carey back in the freezer. Of course I did. Why else would I? Of course I did. Of course I put Mariah Carey back in the freezer. We don't need her anymore. Christmas is over. Christmas is thankfully over. Yeah, we don't have Mr. Walker Jacket with us because, yeah, poor Mr. Walker Jacket, he's not with us. Yeah, the reason for that is because he, got a bit mind-washed by, some scrubbing bubbles. That were, inflicted on him by a Laundromancer. By an evil Laundromancer, I should say. Not like our cool Cerulean here. Cerulean, he's a cool Laundromancer. Not like Vermilion. Also, Vermilion's like in the Hands of Grime. You remember the Hands of Grime. They're like, an evil organization. They're involved with the toxic waste from another place. Also, they're connected to, the past events, that kind of destroyed, half of, the kingdom that, Dustin is from. Wait, I think yeah, Garbagia, yeah. Yeah, they kind of just, the toxic waste kind of destroyed half of Garbagia. Due to, toxic waste being, like, super toxic. Yeah, so there's toxic waste monsters in this game. Just please keep her frozen till December this time. Sure, alright, I remember the rules. Alright, I remember the rules now. Yeah, you mortals have a surprising amount of rules, yeah. Luckily, they're nowhere near. Luckily, you guys are a bit more forgiving than, the fairy courts tend to be, about that. And I for one highly appreciate that. Alright, now we're gonna bubble him. Alright, scrubbing bubbles everywhere. Oh no, ow, ow. Ow, I got hit. Yeah, these Socklings, they hit like twice. And I still haven't quite mastered the block on them. So you'll forgive me. Also, I should move up the front line, yeah. I know I can move, but, I'm kind of neglecting to do that. Oh wait, I can just use a heal skill. Oh wait, Mr. Cerulean has heal skills. He has quite a good supply of them. Spell moisture, he can create water tiles. Medium water damage, create a water tile. Actually, I think I'll select that one. Alright, now I'll select this oil panel since that water pillar can... Hi Andy, hi chat, hi Plum Starfell. Thank you for being here. I highly appreciate it. We don't need to hear Christmas music in November, thank you. Yeah, I don't blame you. You guys still aren't mad. You guys aren't really, still mad about, You guys aren't still mad that, I got out Mariah Carey a little early. Alright, now, I will respect the mortal's rules, okay? I will respect your mortal rules, okay? I promise. You know, this time. This time I promise to respect the mortal rules. Luckily, you guys seem to be, you know, a lot more forgiving than, you know, the fairy courts tend to be. Also, have I mentioned, I still haven't quite gotten a hang of, you know, Mr. Cerulean's, you know, bubbles. Yeah, I'm supposed to, like, bounce on them to try and, you know, make them work. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be very successful, unfortunately. Ooh, Feather Top Bridge. Alright, what's over here? Alright, that leads to the alright, whoops. Christmas starts the minute, you know, Halloween ends? Yeah, that's true. That's actually true, by the way. Yeah, you know, the Holiday Lands are canon to my lore, by the way. That's actually canonically how it works. You know, there was a big war between Halloween and Christmas even to, you know, kind of decide that. You know, mostly because, you know, back then, you know, the forces of Christmas wanted to take over, you know, wanted to basically take over the Holiday Lands. They kind of spread Christmas. They were doing it to, you know, basically for a good reason, or at least they were saying it was for a good reason to spread Christmas cheer, but, you know, they kind of, you know, took over the land of, you know, Thanksgiving, and then, you know, it kind of spiraled off from there. Also, unfortunately, you know, the Holiday Lands are kind of, you know, unfortunately American-centric because, you know, I don't know anything about, you know, other cultures, you know, holidays, so I'm not even gonna try. Plus, you know, I'm told that, you know, that could be very disrespectful. I am told that it can be very disrespectful depending on how I do it. Alright now. Alright now. Alright now. Man, the foreground objects are making it kind of a little hard to see. But yeah, alright, alright, I'm sorry, I actually don't know if you're a boy or a girl. Plumstarfell is actually correct, you know, canonically speaking, that's the deal that, you know, the forces of Christmas made with the forces of Halloween. You know, that Christmas starts at the moment that Halloween ends. Yeah, that's canon in the lore, by the way. Luckily, you know, Magical Girl Santa Claus, which, you know, is the current Santa Claus. Yeah, you know, Santa is a title in the lore, by the way. It's not just one person, by the way. It's actually a title with a whole legacy behind it. Uh-oh. Oh no, we only have room for one moldy lettuce. Uh-oh, we're under attack by mushrooms. Alright, no. Oh no, mushrooms. Wait, do I have uppercut on? No, I think... Alright, I'm pretty sure I got rid of that for first aid. I do have steel, and I... Let's see, Oh, excuse me, sorry. Oh. I apologize for that, I promise. Alright, let's move Dustin up, and then let's do... Alright, are you guys ready for the clean sweep? Alright, let's sweep these, let's do a sweep. Gotta sweep! You know, a bit like, you know... Alright, have you guys ever played, you know, Boldy's Basics? Or, you know, heard of it, at least. Actually, I haven't played it, but, you know, I've definitely heard of it. I remember watching, you know, Boldy's Basics, you know, back on Manly Badass Heroes channel. You know, before, you know, it exploded in popularity back then. I kind of wonder, yeah. And Boldy's Basics was gonna have, you know, a big, you know, game that was gonna come out about it, but, you know, I don't think they quite finished that yet. Yeah, it does take a long time to make a big full game, yeah. Alright now. Oh, whoops, I kind of underestimated the range of that. Oh wow, this takes 15, oof. Oh, it actually hits them all. Alright, let's go Feral Claws! Let's use the Mammalian Claw attack! Oh, that didn't take them all out, oh no. Oh no, these enemies are pretty strong. Alright, now, Alright, they're not grouped together where I can, you know, hit them with this clean sweep. Oh no, the target... Alright, targeting Cerulean. Ow. Don't worry, Cerulean's fine. Alright, now. Alright, I'll go with a regular attack just to build up metal. I mean, I do have Metal Drain, too, you know, with Dustin, but, you know... I need... Alright, now, but I'm pretty sure these guys are resistant to water, I think. Alright, I'll use Metal Drain anyway. I use Metal Drain to steal a bunch of metal. Right now, Water Pillar, hopefully, I think it's weak to that. Should I try Bubble Blast? Alright, I'll try Water Pillar on the jellyfish. Hopefully the jellyfish is weak to water. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Cerulean can also does have skills that, let him set, water panels on your side of the field so that you can heal off them. Kind of a little dangerous because some enemies can, benefit off of water panels. Yeah, I must say, I do like the combat system in this game with panels. There's not really too much in the way of, like, status effects. Really, it's mostly it's just, aside from, getting your attack debuff by, aside from, an attack debuff, I haven't really seen anything like that. Alright, now, they're all bunched up together, huh? I mean, I can use Palm Strike to knock them into each other. Yeah, you can knock enemies into each other in this game, too, yeah. Yeah, by the way, Dustin does have a move that, can knock enemies into each other, yeah. Also, I have been working on new stuff, and, I have an idea of what to do for, the next part of Humans Are Weird Monster Things. Yeah, I don't know how interested you guys would be in that, though. Although, to be fair, I haven't been really advertising them very well, have I? Oh well, you guys can watch them on YouTube if you really want to. Alright, now. Yeah, the reason I started ranking, Humans Are Weird Monster Things is because of HFY. Alright, basically it's, about aliens, interacting with humans, and humans are like, secretly broken and do all sorts of things that, shock aliens. And, that aliens really can't do. Yeah, a lot of it, don't get me wrong, is very much related to things like, Caprice. Capricin, and, a lot of it is very related to things like Capricin and all that. Alright, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, Basically, the hot spicy peppers, yeah. Also caffeine and alcohol. Oh, it's using Self-Stitch, oh yeah. I remember that move, that's one of, that's one of Walker Jacket's move. Unfortunately, Walker Jacket is kind of a little bit indisposed because, unfortunately he got mind washed by Vermilion and he got super weak and he has to kind of recover from that. It's kind of a whole big thing with him, sadly, right now. We don't have him in our party right now, which is a shame because he also has Metal Drain. Ooh, Sacred Spa Water. I just hope that, whatever enemies there are in the game don't confuse me and steal that from me. Oh, Cold Burger. Alright, although I don't know if I'm gonna encounter the enemies that can confuse you in this area. Yeah, the confusion panels are basically, let's see, they were, white mold panels. Yeah, I don't think the mushroom enemies in this area have that. No, I'm not entirely sure what they have, unfortunately, because I keep killing them too quickly. Yeah, I did do a bit of... Yeah, I kind of grinded, Reptavia and, and I did grind Dustin and Reptavia, a little bit earlier in, some of the previous chapters. Yeah, I was going to do that a lot with Cerulean, but my mental health wasn't, doing too well. Because my doctor unfortunately decided, for some reason to get me off my medicine, and I've been off of it for quite a while, and that was, kind of, it was awful, man. Very awful. Yeah, anyway, I'm really sorry about that. Ooh, a speed pill, nice. Anyway, I'm really sorry about that, by the way. And that's kind of why I kind of stopped playing video games, unfortunately. Yeah, if you want an explanation as to why, I stopped doing that. Although, I really have to revisit Star Ocean 1. I've kind of been heavily neglecting that. Mostly due to the aforementioned issues, but, I need to grind on that a lot more, yeah. Because I'm kind of getting into... Alright, yeah. I kind of need to grind that very heavily, yeah. And I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry that, you know, I'm really sorry about all that. Oh, 4 gyre, nice. I do need more of those. Oh no, I don't have enough room for the loot bags. No. Oh no, socks. Socks and baskets. Ugh. And soap scum. Ugh. Yeah, soap scum is how you get black mold, guys. Not even gonna lie. And black mold is like super disgusting, man. Yeah, I do not like black mold. Alright, I think I will palm strike the Socklings so that they're not, you know, hitting me twice. That way, that'll take care of them. Alright, might as well move Dustin up so he's doing more damage. Cerulean is, you know, hurting a little bit, but he'll be okay. Yeah, he'll be alright. He'll be alright. As long as I have enough as long as I can get enough metal, it should be fine. Nice, hit miss. Right now? As long as I get enough metal, it's fine. Yeah, Cerulean's a little behind on levels because I've also been neglecting to grind this game. Oh no. Right, please get out of the way, please. Alright, please do not get caught on anything, please, foot. Right, come on. Move over, please. Alright, sorry, my legs kind of fell asleep. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. I apologize. Alright, now. And so, what's down over here? Whoa, whoops. Whoop, that's not good. Nope, alright. Alright, it's fine, it's fine. Oh no, mushrooms. Alright, soap scum. Ugh. That is how you get black mold. Ugh. I don't like it. I don't like black mold. Yeah, my water. Yeah. It reminds me that a few years ago, you know, we had some, you know, bad issues with our pipes, and you know, it kind of led to a lot of black mold. Unfortunately. And we kind of had to clean it out. Yeah, luckily luckily they fumigated it and, you know, got rid of it, so it's fine. And they also fixed the pipes. Yeah, alright now. Hey Foam, it's in Dorito Day. No, there's no in Dorito. Try delicious Cool Ranch and Dorito burrito. Only at Taco Bell. Yeah, there's no Cool Ranch and Dorito. There's no in Dorito. There's no such thing as in Dorito, okay? In Dorito's a bunch of, you know, fake news made up by detractors. It's like super duper made up by detractors. Oh wow, what's this? Oh nice, I got a whole bunch of metal from that. Alright, I might as well. Alright, now I have enough spare key. Ooh, dryer sheet. Oh man. Listen, go to the counter at Taco Bell and order it exactly that way, and they don't even bat an eye when they fill my order exactly every time. Right. Sure. Yeah, alright now. Alright. It's other ending of propagation season. Feel free to avoid getting drained or seed vetted. Oh no. Not Alarions. Oh no, Alarionies. No. Alright, that reminds me of that one manga, which was called, what was it? Plant Monster Girl Diary? Yeah, the main character in that is an Alarioni, yeah. Not she's basically a former saint that got betrayed and, you know, ended up getting eaten by a monster plant and, you know, turned into an Alarioni. Yeah, she basically started off stationary and, you know, getting different abilities from different plants that she ate. You know, and she had to fight some of the Demon Lord's guys, and then later on she did learn how to walk and, you know, take on a Dryad form and got, like, super duper powerful and everything. Of course, there were some of the downsides with the Alarioni, such as, the more sus things that Alarioni are known for. Yeah, she had to avoid getting pollinated by, you know, unfortunately. Yeah, like Isekai Poison Ivy? Well, kind of a little bit like that, yeah. Yeah, playing Monster Girl Diary was actually pretty good though. Yeah. Kind of wish the rest of the chapters were translated though. And unfortunately, they didn't translate too many of them, so I wasn't able to read too much. Yeah, pretty good manga though. I did enjoy the concept because it was kind of unique. You know, usually isekais aren't really too unique. Usually they aren't really super unique. They keep repeating the same tropes over and over again. Yeah, even some of the bad ones like buying slaves. I mean, buying servants that, you know, are unpaid labor. Yeah. Yeah, which, you know, I'm more about John Brown the anime. They're all just remakes of the original Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, which in and of itself was an isekai. Ah, that's true. I mean, technically speaking, if we're gonna talk about isekais, you know, technically speaking, Alice in Wonderland and Wizard of Oz and Lion Witch in the Wardrobe, they're all isekais. And unfortunately, I can't say the same for Lord of the Rings because that's just actual straight fantasy. Although Lord of the Rings is just straight fantasy, yeah. See, Foam gets it. Foam gets it. He's thank you for being nice about it. Oh boy, how do I get around those? Oh boy, alright. And you can make any other genre of anime into isekai, just make the protagonist from another anime universe? That would be boring. You know, one idea I had for I will admit that I did, you know, come up with a bit of, you know, isekai nonsense. Actually, some of it is canonical to the lore because, you know, the isekai world system, you know, does exist in the lore, and it's basically a way for, you know, dead people that, you know, basically had really rough lives or, you know, were really virtuous to basically live out their dreams in another world, basically. It kind of got hijacked by, you know, Starchy, which is one of the Ascended, you know. So, it kind of unfortunately fell into evil hands, unfortunately, but, you know, that's kind of been resolved since, you know, Slime Overlord appeared. Alright, interspecies reviewer and free runner peak, and they're not isekai, that's true. Now, how is Unlimited Possibilities boring? I have DBZ characters in JoJo universe. I mean, that is true. I mean, technically speaking, if you want to write fanfiction, you can pretty much write anything you want. Oh look, it's a Tide Pod tree. Alright, oh no, is that Tide Pods? Oh no, I remember those. Guys, don't eat the Tide Pods. Don't eat the Tide Pods. This is a spot. I was worried there for a minute. There are lots of bare trees around here. Looks like there's plenty of pods in this one. Fanfiction is, as always, the best and worst of isekai. I mean, always the best and worst of, you know, really anything, really. You know, one of the longest pieces of fiction ever written was actually, you know, a Loud House fanfiction. Alright now. Yes, Walker's gonna be impressed with us. I'll start gathering. Alright, hopefully no monsters. Hey. What's all the ones over there on the ground? Oh yeah, they look all chewed up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, a bad guy's gonna come and get us. I don't know, something's been eating all these laundry pods. What's it? Alright, we know it's not you, Dustin. You literally didn't eat one. I'm envisioning a Pokemon Godzilla crossover where Ash Ketchum ends up in the Godzilla verse and makes friends with a kaiju. Gotta collect them all. Oh no. Only one species can digest them. The hamperback turtle. The hamperback turtleneck. Uh-oh. What the heck is that? It said that even a single pod would drive it into a violent frenzy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, something's eating the Tide Pods. No, no. Either that or it's a 19... Or either that or, you know, it's somebody that, you know, was wait, what was the year that people were eating Tide Pods and, you know, like, unironically? You know, for memes? I don't know. It's gonna be off its rocker. Come on, blue guy. Aren't you a wizard or not? You can't be serious. Let's go. Oh, vile villains draw near. A vile villain draws near. I wrote my own original fantasy story. No, alright, no, not my lore. But it's pretty fun manga. Picture Ash writing Godzilla cheering while he was on Falcor. No, here comes the hammerback turtleneck. Turtleneck, oh no. Ugh, turtlenecks. No, that's very, spicy fashion. Alright, I have to be, alright now. Alright, I have to be ready for this guy to move. Alright, set a trap. Alright, the trap is set. I'll use lid toss to, hurl him right to get him stuck in the trap. So he's in the back line and can't move. Wait, alright, we have oil. Alright, I'll set up some oil. Alright, I'll set up some oil. Oh, whoa, alright. Alright, set up some oil, that's good. Alright, I'll use Shadow Stance. Shadow Stance so I can hopefully get some extra turns. Alright, let's see. Oil kind of explodes off of... Oh wait, I got head cannon. Alright, now I might as well use head cannon. Oh yeah, head cannon! Yeah, just like, alright, yeah. Alright, that did a lot of damage, plus he's on a lava tile now. He's gonna be taking tons of damage. Alright, I'm not... Alright, now. Alright, guess I'll do Bubble Blast. No wonder Godzilla has pigtails. Oh, he's going for an attack. Oof. Rotavia, you're okay. Alright, I'm guessing he's going into a defensive stance. I don't know, hopefully this is not like, Final Fantasy VI where, he's gonna counterattack me pretty hard if I go into the attack now. Alright, I should probably be very careful about that. I really don't know what to expect from this game. That very well could be. Or maybe it just could have, very high defense. Alright, maybe if I lightning strike it. Oh yeah, he's weak to... Oh, he's weak to lightning. Oh yeah, alright. Alright, let's see if I can Bubble Blast him. Alright, he resists bubbles. Alright, I might as well just, attack him. I'm alright now. Extra turn active. Ooh, nice. Nice. Roll the dice. Ooh, extra turn active. Alright, extra turns. Alright, I noticed he was weak to lightning. Alright, might as well lightning him. There we go, yeah. Alright, now, he's gonna be... Alright, now, ooh. Oh no, what's he doing? Static shock, uh-oh. Oh no, he's about to unleash static. Ow. Uh-oh, I think the lava panel wore out. I think the lava panel went out. That's not good. Alright, I still have... Alright, now. Missile attack. Right now, lightning. Right now, strike him with lightning. And I'll set up another oil panel. Alright, he may resist that, but it will, deal extra damage. Alright, I gotta heal Cerulean. Alright, heal Cerulean, please. There we go. Alright, now, and I need to, alright, now. Oh wait, Lightning Strike can, ignite oil panels too. Alright, there we go. Oh, yeah, alright. Oh, right. Oh, we got a trophy. Nice. We got a trophy for igniting so many oil panels. Alright, I might as well just take the opportunity to, build metal. Oh yeah, speaking of building metal, I'm kind of getting low on that. Alright, might as well metal drain. Alright, now. Alright, what's he going? He's going static shock? Oh no, he's gonna put a shock to my system. Ow! You guys ever watch Static Shock? Alright, Turtleneck has been defeated. Alright, the hamperback turtleneck has been defeated. Oh, we got a laundry cord. Nice. Alright, level up. Nice. Upgrade skill. Might as well upgrade skill. That's actually not bad, blue guy. Not bad. Thank you. You both, were impressive. Let's hustle and get Grammy her ingredients. These things look delicious, like I say. Dustin, don't you dare! Don't you dare start eating the Tide Pods! Don't eat the Tide Pods! Guys, you know not to eat the Tide Pods, right? Not the Tide Pods? Please don't eat the Tide Pods. Mr. Dustin, do not the Tide Pods. Mr. Sir Dustin, don't eat the Tide Pods, please. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't do it. Don't you do it. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Don't you dare do it. Hey, wait, where'd she go? Oh, wait, there she is. Alright, Dustin, are you okay? Alright, Mr. Walker, are you okay? You're back. I'm sure it wasn't too much trouble. Oh, yeah, we just ran into a hamperback turtleneck. It was no big deal. Well, yeah, no trouble at all. Alright. You should have seen us two sticking out a wild hamperback. It was amazing. I missed it. I can't believe it. The elixir will take some time to ferment. Your friend is recovering but still needs some rest as well. Make yourselves at home in the meantime. Alright, I'm sure that Vermilion's troops won't be, looking for us here. It's not like they know that we're here, right? What's with the display case? That is a memorial. How did you know? Take a look around. This place is a mess, especially for Detergios. Clothes and cobwebs all over except for that case. You're right, Rotavia, not a sponge in the glass. You should probably stay away from it, Dustin. I'm just looking. Yeah, Dustin, I don't trust you. I don't trust you given how naive you are. Ah, yes, my sister's one. Your sister? The tea is nearly ready. Come, said, and I will tell you a tale. It's time for a tale. Cue to Kakia music. Cue to spooky, NG music. It was a long time ago. I went by a Lady Maw, purple laundromancer of the Moon Prince. You were a wizard, too. You're a wizard, Harry. Oh, actually, alright, that's the last time I promise that's the last time I'll reference Harry Potter. The Moon Prince is one of the highest of the pajama ranking. And of course, my sister was the star, Lady Jade. Alright, Moon is the highest rank? Ooh, nice. reminds me of how I got my wand. Yeah, my white moon staff, yeah. She was the greatest laundromancer of our time. But everything changed the day Garbage Mesh walked through the door. Oh, you're now. Wait, you knew Garbage Mesh back in the day? Whoa! Actually, that's pretty deep lore. Alright. That's right. Just how old are you? Dustin, please focus. I like Rotavia getting, I like Rotavia. I like Rotavia's little face here. It looks pretty nice. It looks cute. If you let me finish, right? Yeah, sorry. He arrived at Needlepoint, pleading for our help. Tracy, back in the land of garbage, Scraporia City, the most advanced city in the world. Oh, it's been... Alright, something happened. That looks like a nuke went out. Alright, that looks like a nuke went off. That's not good. That looks like a nuke went off. Wiped out by a mysterious force, and evil had descended upon the land. Oh, the toxic waste. Dun 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 dun. Slime beneath me, slime up above. Dun 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 dun. Oil and grime, toxic sludge, diesel clouds and noxious muck. Slime beneath me, slime up above. A laundromat was called, and our lords of all assembled for a vote. We would we cross the soiled seas and help fight this otherworldly threat? As the historians called it, the toxic waste from another place. Oh no, it's toxic, just like DSP. Ugh. Yeah, it's made out of DSPs. You know, it's made out of all those Twitch and it's made of all for those Twitch, flesh tuber bros and redditors that are like super angry at Neurosama and Iron Mouse. Ugh. Ugh, disgusting creatures. Alright, but even after a long deliberation, it remained deadlocked. And so tradition fell me to cast a deciding vote. Yeah, so alright, wow, what an honor. My vote was so... What? Wait, what? I can see no benefit of us getting tangled up in a far-off garbage war. Oh, come on, man. If only you knew how real the threat was. Alright, and so my sister was furious. Uh-oh. And she went off to do it. She joined Garbage across the sea. Uh-oh. And that was the last I ever saw of her. I know, she died during the incident with, the toxic waste from another place, didn't she? Yeah, and it's just, Garbage might have been corrupted by, Lord 8-Ball or whatever, but alright. She had taken her temple's most sacred artifact with her. And the soap on a rope stone? What? No, what now? The soap on a what? I wasn't there to bear witness, but they say she vaporized half the toxic army at once. Oh, good job. Oh boy. She has such tremendous power, she became the embodiment of cleanliness itself. Well, to be able to defeat toxic waste, you must be the master of cleanliness. And the very fabric of her body was torn apart in the process. Her sacrifice critically wounded the forces of waste, and a Kingscon army was able to seal them away deep back below the crater. Now with that, the war was won, right? Yes, but my sister, the Starprint, was gone. Only the stone in her wand remained. And the toxic waste aren't completely dead, unfortunately. Yeah, because, the Hands of Rhyme revived them, didn't they? The Hope now resides back in the Great Faucet Temple. Oh, the bad guys are wanting to go there, aren't they? They say her spirit remains inside, still inside looking out. Yeah, the bad guys are kind of after that. Trapped behind the glass. Your spirit is still sleeping, still keeping the waste off from our world. And the bad guys are gonna want to, get that, and, meanwhile, Garbamesh became the hero of the dump. In day, his legend continues to grow. My sister contribution was regulated to a footnote in the bookkeepers to fuss over. No! No, that's mean. I don't like that. No! Well, I left the Andra monsters after that and went into seclusion. I was not known as sister to savior, but rather Witch of the Feathertop. The one who voted no. No! No, gee, I had no idea. It's not a story I love to tell over sparkling shampoo. Oh, wow, we're drinking shampoo? No. I hope you understand why I chose to tell today. Because if the toxic waste is really coming back, you must all be prepared for what that means. Yeah, the potential destruction of the entire world, just no big deal. It's just a regular Tuesday for me. Trust me, it's canon. To my lore, at least. Literally, I had to stop a mad artist who basically, rewrote all of reality, basically. He tried to turn me into a villain, tried to have me kill my friends, but, it's a good thing Glitch exists. Since Glitch's powers kind of, interfered with his. So, we were able to sort that mess out, thankfully. And, stop him from doing that. But, that was just another Tuesday for me. Just regular, superhero things. I think my potion should be ready now. Alright now, should Mr. Walker be okay? This is the method most ancient. Starching. You will be protected from wrinkles and be more durable between washes. And more importantly, you will be impervious to Vermilion's mind control. However, you must be warned, it is not all bubbles and sunshine here. Starching can be uncomfortable, stiff and scratchy, and worse. Repeated use may break down your very threads. No, not starching, no! That's the fate of all laundry, is it not? We'll do it, right, Starprint? Yes. I expected no less. Let's begin. Oh no, they're starching! No, they're starching themselves! Oh, this is fine. Yeah, you gotta remember they're Garmentians. They're basically living clothes, basically. Which is actually pretty cool, I like that. I like this game, it's pretty unique and interesting. Yeah, and all for $20 even. Yeah, you see, I am having lots of fun with this, you know, for $20. That's the same price as, you know, Silk Song. But, you know, I think it's worth it. Vermilion will not go down easily. It's time to hang him out to dry. Horace and I shall be awaiting news. Good luck, children. Alright, time to hang Lord Vermilion out to dry. Like a bunch of, you know, laundry that, you know, needs to be washed. Like a bunch of dirty laundry that needs to be washed. A bit like the dirty laundry that, you know, a bit like the spiders, you know, dirty laundry. That, you know, Mr. Musk knows all about. In fact, I'm pretty sure Mr. Musk's laundry is pretty dirty too. Not just because he's in the mafia, but also because, you know, because he's a basically stink bug. Which, you know, means he has a lot of dirty laundry by default. You know, aside from him, you know, being in the mafia, obviously. You know, that's aside from him being in the mafia, obviously. Although that is part of it. Alright now. Alright, get rid of the basket case. Yeah, the only basket case around here that needs to be here is me. Quite literally. Quite literally, I have schizophrenia, you know. Like, actual schizophrenia. Not the kind of stuff that, you know, not the kind of stuff that, you know, the people joke about. Not the kind of stuff that people joke about in memes, like actual schizophrenia. Yeah, I wish it were as funny as, you know, people think it is. Sadly, it's pretty horrible. Alright now, let's go, you know, hang some dirty laundry. You know, preferably by chains and ropes. Actually, let's not talk about that, yeah. Actually, let's not hang stuff by chains and ropes, you know. And that, you know, brings up very painful memories for me. Very painful, but also very pleasant memories. I mean, very painful memories, yeah. You know, nice save, huh? Alright now, start now. Start taking down those, you know, start taking down those basket cases. Ow. Ow. Alright now, Stabby. Alright, one down. Alright, Cerulean. I know Cerulean's physical attack is not that high, you know. He's a mage, yo, so... He's a mage and a healer, But, you know, because he's a healer, he's kind of important, so we kind of need him. Alright, at least I don't have to use, you know... At least at the moment, I won't have to use... Alright, I think I'll select the uppercut for now. I'll take the uppercut for now. I mean, I do like the attack stacking now. I do like the attack up, though. That one is also pretty good. And it works really well with Shadow Stance. Works really well with Shadow Stance, but, you know... Probably would work a little bit better if, you know, I was actually upgrading, you know, Mr. Yeah, probably work it better if I were upgrading, you know, Ratavia's attack. Now, do I have anything I can hit them both? Bubble Blast! Alright, let's blow the, ow. No, don't worry, I got one black, so that's okay. Right, Rotavia did take a couple hits, that's okay. Right now, I might as well Palm Strike to knock the enemies into each other. I'll inflict a lot of damage to both of them. Alright, basket case inside. Alright, now. Alright, now the hamper. Alright, now. Now, fluff bats are not cute. Alright, now. The chains and ropes are great for hanging swords from. Also, flip bats are cute. No, I'm not cute. I'm not cute. That's a bunch of lies and misinformation, okay? I am not in any way, shape, or form cute, no. And also, the instances of, you know, chains and ropes are not about, you know, hanging weapons, no. They were more for hanging me. They're more for hanging me, and, you know, the villain tried to, you know, the villain basically tried to, you know, force me to write love letters and, you know, hold hands with them. You know, if you catch my meaning. So, you know, I kind of, you know, might have turned him into a toad. You know, once I escaped. Yeah, once I escaped, I might have turned him into a toad. You know, very permanently. Very permanently, because they were kind of also in a position of power, and, you know, technically speaking, the law wouldn't punish him, so... Not to mention what happened. You know how opposed I am to hand-holding? Yeah, and, yes, right, hand-holding, yeah, sure, that's what it was, yes. Hand-holding. Yeah, they got, alright, yeah. Yeah, I turned a creeper into... Basically, I turned somebody who was a Minecraft creeper into, you know, a toad permanently. To put it in perspective, you know, usually Endomani doesn't kill villains. You know, at least usually. Well, except maybe the Ascendant and Great Evils, because I do actually have to kill those guys. Unfortunately. You know, that's because I don't really have to kill. That's not really because of a code or anything, that's because I don't do it. Don't worry, they'll be back. No, I don't think so. They're kind of stuck as a toad forever. Pretty sure they're stuck as a toad forever. Yeah, that's the law of the hero. You can't kill villain because you need him. You need them in future episodes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, Endomani isn't serialized content, so I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, Endomani is not serialized content, so I don't have to actually worry about that. Yeah, but Batman and Superman are definitely, you know, serialized content, so unfortunately they can't, you know, permanently get rid of the Joker or anything like that. Kind of a bit of a flaw with, you know, that kind. Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a, it's kind of a bit rough with that, huh? Yeah, I'm still at a loss as to what to do with these pillars of knowledge. Right, you have a way to... Wait, am I supposed to get up there? Wait, am I supposed to get up there? I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with the pillars of knowledge. It's literally the law of death, reality doesn't matter. Well, I mean, it's a law of serialized content, though. I mean, it's serialized. Alright, now. I will admit it is a problem, you know, when it comes to serialized content, but, you know, Endomani's not serialized, so, you know, not really a problem for me. You know, not really a problem for Endomani because she's not serialized content. And then a lot of fans, the fans do not want their favorite comic books to change. So they reset every couple of years. Oh. Yeah, but, you know, yeah, but I've definitely seen a lot of people, you know, complain about, you know, Batman keeping the Joker alive, you know. You know, and pretty much the serialized content thing is basically the best explanation I could find for that. I mean, I do put most of my villains in jail, or if the law won't punish them, I sometimes do things like turn them into toads or whatever. Unless people are literally Legion members or members of the Ascended, I literally usually don't try to kill people. I literally usually don't try to kill people. I'm not exactly like Batman, and it's a bit more like Superman, really. It's not quite like Batman, it's a little bit more like Superman, yeah. Joker doesn't appear in comics through the 50s? Wait, what? Literally the whole time they were doing the classic Batman TV show, Joker wasn't in the comics? They didn't have the Joker in the comics? Right, frickin', Frederick Wertham, yeah. Yeah, frickin' Frederick Wertham. Yeah, we don't like that guy. Yeah, he's a major reason why the Comics Code Authority, was made. Yeah, I don't like that guy. I hate that guy. Basically, at the time they were big into that comic book censorship thing, and the Joker was one of the violent characters that they didn't think they could do anymore. Stupid. Alright. Frickin' wet Frederick Wertham. Yeah, if you guys don't know who Frederick Wertham is, he was basically a psychologist that turned scammer and basically wrote a whole bunch of misinformation about comic books. Then, America being, America. And being full of, absolutely wonderful and amazing people, by the way. That totally don't fuck up things for everybody else, They went with his misinformation and were the reason that comic book the comic book code authority the comic book code happened, and comic books were heavily censored for a while. So I really don't like that guy. Thankfully things are pretty chilled out on that. A little bit too chilled out. They got rid of that a long time ago, yeah. So it's no longer around. Yeah. I like to thank our wonderful and amazing politicians for that. But my bulliest clutches his pearls. Yeah. Yeah. Then again, looking back, Frederick Wertham's claims were, very, very silly, not gonna lie. He claimed a lot of very silly nonsense, not even gonna lie. He claimed a lot of very silly nonsense, not gonna lie. Yeah, he tried to claim that a character, getting hit with an invisibility potion on their head was getting decapitated. He also said that Superman was a, member of the, that one regime? That one, certain regime that, is very famous in history? Because he was like saying, he was like saying, Superman was a, officer of that regime because of, the S. He also said that Superman, he also said Batman and Robin were into each other, yeah. Yeah, and, that's kind of why, for a while, Alfred got replaced by a woman. That was kind of in that 50s show. I'm pretty sure I know the regime you're talking about, and I'm pretty sure there's a comic book depicting Superman punching those people. Oh yeah, I remember that, yeah. Also Captain America. Yo! Innovin's here! Alright, we were talking about the Comic Book Code Authority and how it censored things. Yeah, mostly I brought up, Frederick Wertham. Ugh. I don't like that guy. I can't believe that Joker wasn't in the comics in the 50s, no. No, I'm not cute. I'm not a cutie patootie. That is false information. Don't believe the bunny and his lies. Don't believe the bunny and his lies. The bunny is telling a bunch of fibs. The bunny is fibbing. The bunny is, fibbing. Like very heavily. The bunny is like, really fibbing. I like telling him a whole bunch of fibs. Bunny, you shouldn't tell fibs, Bunny doesn't know. Yeah, you do. You tell a bunch of fibs. You tell a bunch of fibs about me. You're constantly telling fibs about me, you killer rabbit. Yeah, by the way, Independent, I hear you're afraid of, the holy hand grenade. I hear you're afraid of the holy hand grenade. I'm throwing the holy hand grenade of Antioch at you. I got the holy hand grenade of Antioch. Allergic. Yeah, I mean, it's basically like me and iron, probably. Although, probably it's like me and iron. Alright, no. Yeah, though iron does burn those fairies on contact, Although, at least it's not as bad as, getting hit with, rowan wood. Rowan wood will basically just, absolutely disable our superpowers, basically. Yeah, it's like the one wood that, doesn't want us to have anything to do with it, I'm not entirely sure why. Okay, I have a question. When you say you're allergic to iron, does it mean like metal or the tool? Like I drive off fairies with an iron meant for ironing my clothes? No, it's not iron, meant for ironing clothes, no. Yeah. It's like specifically the metal. Yeah, the Lord specifically the metal, yeah. What about tentacles, tentacles from that wood? No, please don't talk about tentacles, no. Tentacles are every magical girl's weakness. Are you sure because your Fey words do matter? I mean, I know what you're trying to get at, phone, but that's a life leech. High physical damage, no scaling. Siphon some HP off of enemies. Yo, I got life leech. Yo, I got leech life. Nice. I remember leech life from Pokemon. That's a really good move. Well, it used to be really, really shit, but they kind of changed that, in Sun and Moon. And I agree with Foam on that one. Any girl in any anime in a schoolgirl uniform is. I've seen that. Alright. I mean, alright. Alright now. I know you guys are thinking, I'm technically speaking, I'll probably, I'll probably try to, dance around, my weakness and try to word in a way that, dances around it. But I assure you that, the iron weakness is very serious. It's because, iron is very, reality-based and, kind of very effective against supernatural entities, yeah. Yeah, and, you see, fairies have, like, very sensitive, psychic connect nerves. That are prone to, like, electromagnetism or something. Or, at least that's the explanation I got. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. But basically that's part of why it is. As far as why Rowanwood does it, though, I really don't know. I don't make the weaknesses, they're just enforced against me. For whatever reason. Now if we hit Maleficent with Iron hard enough, we win? I mean, that depends if you can hit her hard enough with it. Yeah, just be careful, fairies in my world know how... Alright, higher level fairies in my world do, have the ability to basically make electromagnetic fields and barriers. Kind of dance around, to kind of get around the iron weakness. So, it's not, yeah, and also, some higher level fairies like, Karabase might recruit things that, can get, don't have the weakness to iron. So you still have to worry about that, yeah. Yeah, so you do have to kind of be careful about that, yeah. You do have to kind of be careful about that too, yeah. Right now, I'm kind of lost as to what to do on the world map. I'm kind of lost as to what to do on the world map. Alright, I'm kinda lost right now, so I apologize for all that. I apologize. I think I'm just getting too distracted. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I'm getting way too distracted. I'll just do the opposite and clicking my heels and believing I will snap my fingers and not believe. And, you know, not believing is, you know, the Tinkerbell weakness. You know, that doesn't work on me. You know, that's just, alright, that's a weakness that J.M. Barrie came up with. That's, you know, fiction. That doesn't actually work. That's not quite how that works. And unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. That's just a weakness that J.M. Barrie came up with. You know, I'm pretty sure that whatever led J.M. Barrie to, you know, come up with, you know, all the kind of stuff that he did, you know, about us. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it might have been some Unseelie, you know, pulling a prank on him. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Piece of iron. Alright, now, whoa. Hey, I want to read that. Get out of here. I have an idea. What if we put a piece of iron that can switch polarity on? We can essentially use electromagnetic shield against them? Uh-oh. No. They're starting to think tactically. Frick, the mortals are starting to think, you know, tactically. Oh no. Wait a minute. How do I get over there? I can't seem to quite get over there. No. Yeah, switch to reverse polarity because we want. Uh-oh. They're starting to think tactically. Alright, I appreciate that. Alright, I appreciate you guys learning tactics, though. You guys should learn those things. I really should learn those things. You know, despite the disadvantage you guys are probably gonna put me through. I highly appreciate that. Like you couldn't believe. Plan to incorporate that into my hammer? I mean, you'll only use it against, you know, promise you'll only use it against bad fairies, okay? Also, fairies do have, promise you'll only use it against, you know, very naughty fairies that, you know, are actually trying to hurt you, okay? You know, iron is very scary and, you know, very hurtful to us, okay? Please don't use the iron thing unless you really need to, okay? Obviously, I myself can suffer iron poisoning, which, you know, iron poisoning can interfere with, you know, our powers, but, you know. Alright, now. Oh, duelist gloves, nice. Alright, nice, I got duelist gloves. Alright, I think I'm on the right track now. Alright, I definitely was getting too distracted, I'm sorry. An iron fly spotter with an electromagnetic switch? Alright, are you sure that will work? No, well, I guess you guys can try anything you want. Oh well, you guys are free to try whatever you think will work. I do appreciate that you guys are starting to think tactically about this and, you know, work ways around it. You know, that's pretty much how mortals, you know, beat us, you know, fairies, despite, you know, having sealed powers, you know? Despite, you know, having sealed powers. Alright, gang. This is it. We should be impervious to the mind washing now. Do, you feel impervious? Nah, sure feel better. You sure feel better than my last visit. Alright, alright, now, don't forget, we're one of the fated. Act like you have no personality whatsoever. Should be much of a stretch, Keeper. Ratavia, don't be rude! Ratavia, don't be rude, you little rat! Very funny. No, don't worry about me. You go take care of that bubble tower. We'll sure try to take care of the bubble tower. No. Fairies are fairies. You know, fairies aren't aren't all small size. Yeah, that's mostly specifically pixies, though. Yeah, mostly the small size fairies are mostly pixies, and pixies do have the ability to change size. They can become as big as, adults. They can become as big as adult humans. No. Some say they're 5'9" when they're 4-inch. Mr. Innovan. Mr. Innovan, I am actually being super serious, okay? Now stop spreading false information. I'm actually telling you the truth, okay? Pixies are, the ones that, pixies are the ones that, are the ones that are depicted like that. Yeah, and most mortals, forget that, that they actually, canonically can change size. Most mortals have forgotten that, yes, they can canonically, pixies, yes, can canonically change size, yeah. That's actually a real ability that they have, yeah. I even looked it up and everything, yeah. It's actually a real ability they have. Which means, yes, they can grow to adult size if they want. I picture all VTubers actually like miniature size, like the size of Barbie dolls and just stream for tabletops. Very funny, Mr. Foam. Very funny, Mr. Foam. But we're not. Technically speaking, VTubers are basically just basically the evolution of Punch and Trudy and Muppets and all that. That's basically what we are, really. You guys, yeah. You guys know what's up. What stuff like that is, yeah. Yeah, the character you see on screen is basically a role that we get into, yeah. Sometimes. Although not all VTubers do that. Some VTubers play a character, some don't. It really depends, really. Like, some people play a role and then, forget about it and, start talking about their personal lives. Yeah, it's sort of like what I was doing earlier with schizophrenia. Oh, right, yeah. I promise I will. Alright, now. I'm sorry about getting distracted and, getting lost, so... I unfortunately ran out of time, and sadly. Well, for now. Alright, I think I should probably... I'm not sure what to do for tomorrow. Alright, alright now. Hey guys, do you feel up for, like a chill grinding stream or something like that, or do you want more lore? I'm open to really do it. Or, I should probably finish up Dragon Quest 2 and, of course, get back into Star Ocean. No, Goblin, alright, alright, we got a couple of people, playing it, alright now. Alright, how about we go, alright, all streamers are the evolution of disc jockeys. They're all just American bands, I mean, I guess that, no, technically, alright now. Do whatever you want. Okay, thank you. Alright, let's raid Goblin Fia. Oh, whoops, I almost misspelled her name. Yeah, she's playing, Twilight Princess, by the way. Now, I am absolute dog water, Twilight Princess. You guys remember the last stream I did of that. I was raging at the boat puzzle. I was raging at the boat minigame. You guys remember that. Also, I raged at the snowboard game. I always have trouble with that one. I don't really have trouble with, the main game as a whole. Unless I get lost. Alright, Moonbat Raid. Alright, goodbye.